that we determine it here. You can look at the scores at the top right of your screen. Yes, that's right. A 7-0 to ORTHROS GRIT is how we started out this match. It was on Bank. We then went to Chalet, as you'd already mentioned, Guz. It was a close game. Went OT, and even that final round, we could have gone to a 15th, and maybe, just maybe, ORTHROS could have closed that out. Does that sit on the back of their minds? You'd hope not. There's only one way to find out. That's to get into it. Let's have a look at the first attacking ban. What?
The ace roller target ban.
I feel like the Nook didn't have that much of an impact on the attackers, Chalet.
I did a little bit, but actually I'm casting my mind back to yesterday, and Nook actually had an impact in one of the matches. I can't remember exactly which one it was. Must have been the second of the day, or the third of the day rather, Sengoku and Blue Bees. The nade play from below on Villa can be really quite potent, so it's probably another reason why you just want to get it taken off the board. And basement lurks in general on Villa can be pretty scary, pretty precarious to come up against. So don't necessarily mind that. It's a very niche ban, but I think it's pretty well thought out here from FAV.
Flores is the next to go, and I don't think that needs much introduction or excuses. That the explanation speaks for itself with those Flores drones. A map like Villa, there is a lot of utility that you will need to clear for things like Stat Trophy, Kitchen, cross in AVG or Aviator in Games. So off the board nice and early. Malusi is soon to follow. The final ban is up in the hands of FAV.
Valk to round things out. I think Valk has been banned in every single map so far, right? So
correct.
Not something that either of these teams want to deal with, and in fact it has been juggled between the two teams. ORTHROS are the first two maps to take her down, and now FAV in the third. FAV themselves, of course, starting out on the defense first here of Villa. We'll be heading to the second floor, unfortunately.
Take a stab.
I think it's Stat Trophy.
Aviator in Games, for sure. For sure.
Just gonna hedge your bets on the 50-50.
Nah. I know Japanese.
Really?
It's Aviator in Games. No question about it. I have absolutely no clue. I will be completely forward in saying that. We are going to see the Dokkaebi re-picked into here. Oh god, I'm too good. I'm too good, Guz. I'm just built there.
I definitely need to tidy up on my kanji. I know absolutely zero, so something to improve upon. But yeah, looking in terms of compositions here for the defense, nothing standing out as being too peculiar. I'd say Capcan maybe, but we've actually seen it play quite a bit, and I don't know how much of that is just a comfort. I guess, of course, it has recently been reworked or buffed or adjusted, however you want to frame it. You can now place multiple EDDs on a doorway. I don't know what it's limited at. I think you could place all of them on one doorway if you really wanted. So a little bit strange to come up against sometimes. We are seeing most teams, if they do want to lean into that, putting two on a single door. Of course, doing a lot of damage, and if damage has already been inflicted on that particular attacker, can often be enough to achieve a down or a kill. So
yeah,
something that ORTHROS GRIT will need to be very mindful of, particularly if they go for a map sweep.
And Shin reprising that role as well. It was a lot of damage he was able to inflict on that defensive side. So, no doubt about it. You'll wait and see him kind of lurking around here, there, and everywhere. Afro, whoa, geez, just started to make his way close to the couch there. That would have been to his own demise. Now just missing the outline there. Has gone prone though. Legator not keen to stick around for too much longer there.
Mao with a nade in hand, looking to clear Brown's stairs, but it won't quite hit the mark. We'll follow it up with maybe a push, but the Gas Babe will delay the inevitable. Blue Gator not going down without a fight, wanting to hold on to his key position for as long as possible.
Attackers recover the diffuser.
Toms can be a huge point of contention. You can see if Lugator goes down, it's number 2 that has to step up. They'll lose somewhat of study control there. Afro is in a position to try and shut that down. Shotgun Needs to be so cautious here now, trying to find the kill, and that he will successfully do. Continues to pre-fire around the corner, but to no success. Choppy backs it up. They don't know that number 2 is still there. However, the audio cue now starting to ring true. Number 2 still finds the kill. ORTHROS GRIT find themselves in a bit of an awkward position now. 3 versus 3, as most players have made it back to the site.
2 members low though, so could prove to be costly. ORTHROS though, still lurking on the other side of the map, now shaping up over towards the north. Most of the action taking place over towards Brand Stairs, but now 90. Really key point of interest. There is a player here. Oh, the Capcan though wins that fight. Shin, I thought that was a clean headshot, but must have been to the neck. Well played there by the Capcan to win that engagement.
All 3 players low here for FAV. Vvort spearheading this attack, needs to be careful not to overextend. He goes down. Ace Roller's going to be in a lot of trouble. Who's now trying to push 90. There goes Shin. Only 2 more remain. Both players, again, incredibly low.
20 seconds left, though, for ORTHROS to commit to a push. Time continuing to tick down. Vvort with the diffuser in hand needs to find an entry in towards the site.
Ace Roller trying to find that kill from behind the bar. Number 2 goes down. Surely can't hit that shot. No way. Vvort makes it just behind the bar. Starts to stick it now. Afro knows he's going to get a move on. Is there going to be enough time for him to get off and play post-plant? No, there is not. Afro makes it around the corner. It's table in time. Nice round to start things out here for FAV.
Yeah, good work there from FAV. They were able to neutralize that early engagement over towards top brown, and then ORTHROS, off the back of that, were then forced to rotate, go for trophy across as opposed to study into site. And they did find some success clearing 90, but by that point, a lot of time had been drained. And yes, they did get in towards site, but clearly not quite able to get it across the line. And it's a good start for FAV.
Phenomenal start, if you were to say. Nah, it's just a good start. Still a close round, and if not for the clutch, would have been a very different story. Afro steps up massively at the back of Vault. Plays it to perfection. Still, as close as that was now, ORTHROS GRIT need to move on and keep their attention peeled. This time Shin swaps off of the Capcan. It's in fact number 2 that now sticks that Shin Muse onto the mute. And as always, a pulse is so critical on this side, so impactful. And there's surely some C4s to boot. There's 3, in fact, that they're going to be able to use should they want to make that floor lava on that second floor. But the extension, how long they can hold for, is going to be quite vital to see if they can burn the time off the clock for ORTHROS. They're putting a lot of utility and a lot of emphasis on that. So you'll know that they'll be fighting tooth and nail to keep it.
Yeah, and outside of just the utility, it's also important to keep in mind that Pulse has been picked. Now, on this particular side, Pulse is incredibly powerful because you can play down below. There's a lot of safety. You're unlikely to be taken down cheaply, and you can gain information, right? Over towards bedroom balcony. Are they pushing from there? You can also get a bit more aggressive over towards lounge and see where these players are coming from over towards the south as well. And you can critically give those calls to your teammates. You can play for C4s. There's a lot that can be achieved by having a Pulse available here for FAV Gaming. So I'd like to see them lean into that. And they should have a pretty good read as to where this push is coming from. It seems like they do, but unfortunately, the first of those Nitro cells does not find a kill, but Shin at that mud window will find his.
I mean, an interesting C4 to throw out so early on in the piece. Kind of feels like a little bit of a waste here. Hang on, Ace Roller, you're not going to continue to push this, are you? God. Could have found some pretty nasty timing there. Typon was ready and waiting. That shotgun will be absolutely dismissive of anyone that tries to push into the angle there. With Afro down, now that top floor becomes a little bit freer for ORTHROS, but they still need to be so cautious. Astro Stairs will allow FAV to re-aggress through and through, and they still don't have any information on where these players are. There's no one else on that top floor right now. They're playing like there is.
Oh, new Gator down below. Maybe he can go for a flank again. Typon can make out calls for this flank. But in the meantime, just going to sit and wait patiently. We'll be able to collect that nitro cell by shooting out the wooden boards up above. 60 seconds now left. ORTHROS. They need to mount something. They've been stalled out, and that is a terrible grenade from Choppy. Oh my god, it's a team kill.
That is absolutely devastating, and so too is Luke Gator coming from behind. The flank works perfectly. Choppy, trying to be cautious here, but the information is just far too good. That game from Taipon can win rounds single-handedly. And look at that, he's just going to play more defensive. They might not know exactly where Miao's coming from, but they'll get a good indication soon enough. There we go, Luke Gator finding the kill, and Taipon cleaning things up. That is a phenomenal round from FAV Gaming.
And the way I would describe this map playing out so far is almost quite similar to the way in which FAV were playing on Bank. It's almost like the roles have been reversed. ORTHROS look a little bit lost here to exactly the objectives they want to play, and the positions that they're held aren't necessarily being held well by flank watch. So then kind of going into a lot of unknowns, and the percentage for a lot of these players are not in their favor. And that's one of the key things you need to do in Siege is every engagement, every play, you need to try and turn the tables into your favor and play percentages, but they're really not doing that so far. They have it in the first 2 rounds, and they'll need to quickly adjust things heading into the third, because much like that Bank matchup, if you don't collect one of the first 3 rounds in the attack, that's when things get seriously, seriously scary.
Well, close to going around the world here, Guz. 3 on the trot, and maybe the way that ORTHROS started this may well be the way FAV close it out. Surely not the flawless first half. I mean, the way that we're seeing FAV right now, it could well be. This is just experience, and again, the game becomes a bit of a long haul. It's stamina. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And as we're in this third map now, ORTHROS will certainly be feeling the burn. Shin, you're surely not going to find that kill. My goodness. Don't mind the chickens.
The saving grace for ORTHROS in this round is that Trophy actually only has a 45% defensive win rate, right? Compared to the map overall in the Japan League, which actually sits at 53%. So ORTHROS Grit, honestly, I think their win condition now in this first half at least is just win this site. Win it here, 2-1. Then when it comes to round number 6, they win it once more. A 4-2 half would actually not be all that bad. So I think this is the site that's really going to make or break the half here for ORTHROS.
Choppy just makes it inside in time. That would have been less ideal, if I am being completely honest. Afro making himself known here toward games, and the extension can be quite devastating, all things considered. FAV Gaming are really putting a lot of attention across to this southern side of the map. How long they stick this for, I mean, it looks like it's going to be the hard stick. They've got 3 players now watching the hard line. Look at this from number 2. Look at the aggression. Not afraid whatsoever to try and take the early fights, early engagements, and give FAV the upper hand.
How long does he want to hold this position, though? Taipon elsewhere. Drops Mao. So once again, ORTHROS on the back foot. And this is all taking place on the other side of the map. It is falling apart. Taipon with his second in the round, and that's the diffuser on the ground. God. Shin gets the third for his team, and it's not looking good once more.
No. Spoke about that extension towards study, toward games. And it can be dangerous for the defensive team. Should ORTHROS have read into that, could have been a completely different story. They try to take the dry peaks and they're punished for it. Siru trying to find something back in return, but he's not going to be given anything. He gets backstabbed from Shin, who just continues to move around this map freely. Ace roll-up. In a 1 versus 4. It's been done before, and it may well be done again.
Looking to progress up top, Brad. He's going to enter a 2-way cross, maybe a 3-way cross. Every single member off site. Again, that diffuser dropped inside of Study. If X-Roller peeks up, he's dead. Forced by the Nitro Cell to do so. And he still gets taken down. FAV with 3 straight. Things again, it's the situation much like Bank, where we sort of sit back and say, well, where are ORTHROS actually going to win rounds, right? Like, statistically, it's against them. In this match in isolation, it's also against them. So they really need to try something different. Ying being brought out, Amari 6 picked as well. That's what we need to see from Orthros. Just try something, and particularly on a site like Aviator, where we're not expecting them to win the round. This is where they need to just throw something at the wall and hope it sticks.
Setting up.
Could well be that this is the key, the ticket for them to at the very least fight in this first half. But honestly, just the way that FAV have played this really starts to ring the sign of worry for Orthros. You know, we really did sing their praises on Bank, and even on Chalet we saw the hope that Orthros might have been able to close this out in 2, but now FAV are taking over control, and this is what we needed to see from the team that has all the experience in this matchup. We wanted to see FAV shut this down, shut down any thought of that conversation even entering in. Even though it did in that second map, it really could have gone either way, guys. I hate to say a nice edge that was on the fence.
Well, we have had a bit of a series on our hands so far. But feels like the grip is slipping a little bit, at least for ORTHROS GRIT at the moment.
Yeah.
Blue gate up, brown stairs. Played this well on their first attempt. We'll need to step up once more. Has some frost mats in support, deployable shield as well. But here's the play from Orthros. The Amaru and the Ying combo, what can it achieve?
Well, chaos. Chaos is what it's going to achieve. Ace Roller now got one position, but number 2 has been able to find a quick pick. Ace Roller going to continue to try and run through, but Afro holds strong. ORTHROS GRIT, they throw everything but the kitchen sink at FAV. And they're unwavered by it, Guz. They stand to attention and shut down any kind of nonsense, any kind of chaos that Orthros has thrown at them.
Yeah, they tried something new, but now there are only 2 wild pick operators that have already been taken down first. So maybe from here with Mal Deep, they could pull off something, but nah, he's off as well. So yeah, this round, 100%, it's going to go to FAV, and at the moment, they're just steamrolling their opponents.
Choppy. Hoping for a little bit of luck there. Stuck at Skull, finds the quick pick. Taipon's taking his time on the flank. And now Vivort. And an unbelievable bank. Oh! What? Did you even see that?
Nope.
Oh, I would love to have seen that replay, I tell you that much. That would have been disgusting.
And I mean, we were even looking at the player cam, so I don't know if you remember too much on Bank, but every time we switched to FAV, even after the first couple of rounds, they were just completely like deadpan. They didn't look like they wanted to be there at all. But you can just see now they're all laughing, they're up and about, they're chill, they're relaxed, and it's showing in their gameplay. 4 rounds straight. Kitchen dining will no doubt be next. And this is going to at least, at the worst here for FAV, it's a 5-1 half. I don't really see them losing kitchen dining based on the way they're playing so far, and Orthros struggling. So it's going to come down to stat trophy. And even then, a 5-1 deficit is going to be really hard to come back from, of course.
Certainly is. I mean, from here it just gets harder, right? It honestly, like, nothing is easy for Orthros from here on out. Maybe if it's 2-1, they find that the side of stat trophy, or even they find kitchen, you know, they find something. They find a round in amongst the midst of it all. And now it really is just telling the most dire of tales, even at this point, a 4-2 half, as much as it would be somewhat of a pass mark, as you'd mentioned, Guz. Still don't think it would be enough against FAV, who are looking the goods. All 4 rounds so far have just been so clinical in their approach, so clinical in what they've achieved. It's been devastating for this storyline that we had for ORTHROS GRIT coming into this. Again, remembering they are fighting for a place
Attackers are moving out to
in
locate a bomb and defuse it.
Japan League relegations. They lose this, is that it? How do they make it in there? Do we know?
They need to win this and then beat Guigun in the next matchup. So basically, if you're a Guigun fan or if you're Guigun themselves, you're sitting back and cheering on FAV, to be honest, because they will be the only remaining top 8 team from the open quals in the bracket. And yeah, that's the team that will be rewarded the position. So big game, big implications. Maybe not so much necessarily for FAV, who have already locked themselves in for APAC North relegations, but they're still fighting it out for the huge prize pool, not to mention 130k USD on the line here in total. FAV will be wanting to make a statement, particularly with the likes of Sengoku already taken down. they'll have their sights set on maybe being able to take down Cyclops. But long road ahead. Still need to close out this map as well. ORTHROS GRIT, if they win the next 2 rounds, they're well and truly still in it. So we'll see what they can muster up.
Look at the drone economy as well. Dwindled down to 5 in the first minute. Sure, you've still got Choppy. Gemini can still have a great effect, but outside of that, as it chips away, so too does your intel, so too does your ability to be able to take these fights confidently with FAV. They're really trying to flush these players out from that second floor, and they're going to be swung on. Afro can't find a kill. Mal goes massive with a double opening. How much more can they achieve here? Number 2 is in a very dangerous position, though.
Such a number 2 player to play in the right corner. C4 as well from down below. This could turn the tide. Number 2 in a great position to potentially dislodge these attackers up above who may now feel safe. That said, number 2 has been tracked by the Jackal. That's Ace Roller now looking to enter Sheets. So this is the one round ORTHROS GRIT are looking like they might be able to get across the line. Mao doesn't need to push here. Should be playing for the rotation. Number 2 now isolated. Typon the only one on site.
Oh no, Mal! You can't give number 2 an opportunity like that. He's been able to back away as well. Typon trying to hold on for dear life. 2 players on site now. V-Vort tries to stick this. Oh, the flick could have been unbelievable. The C4 should be able to deny it. Does too. Ace Roller now thinking about swinging. Number 2 gets a free kill. No way! No. He can't win this. Oh my god. Oh my word.
I don't think ORTHROS GRIT could have made that any closer if they tried. That was very poorly played at the end, but they did the groundwork early. They, particularly after Mao getting that 2K, was able to kickstart momentum in that round and get it across the line. But very scary there in the execute. Fortunately, they were able to get it across the line.
I mean, if number 2 is in any other position but being prone there, I genuinely think there's a good shout that that's a 1v3, 1v4 kind of performance. Oh, those... The entry denial devices are devastating sometimes, especially in the later parts of the round. You could see how diligently ORTHROS were opening up into Sheets, ensuring that there was no one that could really fall to those EDDs, but it turns out that it's the entrance into China, I believe that was?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Sheets or China, either way though.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Causing a lot of damage now. Of course, with Capcan now being able to place 2 or more EDDs on a single doorway, that was probably what happened there, double down on the util.
No doubt.
That kill, so. I'm actually quite intrigued that FAV haven't elected to re-attempt that site. Again, statistically, AVG is one of the weaker sites in Japanese Siege, so take that as you would. ORTHROS maybe can bring this back 2-4, and then from there, really opens up this match. It did feel like for the longest time, FAV were going to, pretty confidently 5-1, maybe even 6 over half, but ORTHROS off the back of Mao, able to finally mount something. And they'll be looking to roll that into round number 6 now to close out the half strongly.
Never say never. If they do manage to make this possible, the storyline may well just swing. It may well change into a series that is on Guz's hands. As they start to move a little bit closer. We gotta do it. We gotta have a laugh. We have fun here. Bro, swinging. Gotta be so careful of that player. Looking right down Classical. It's Mao. And now he knows. But this extension that we saw last time was absolutely massive from FAV, and ORTHROS just played into it. This time, not so much.
It's much more aggressive and extended here from FAV as well. Looking to lock down Study, lock down Classical hallway as well. Afro, can he pop up and find the kill? Mao's been looking sharp, swings, but doesn't win that fight. Afro just went damn good. Shotgun in hand, takes Choppy low. I don't know how that did so much damage from that range, but it looks like the push from ORTHROS has already been significantly dislodged.
I mean, that's essentially they've just put a muffle all the way over ORTHROS. There's no, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna yell, you're gonna scream, you're not gonna be heard at this point, ORTHROS. You need to try and find a different avenue. because Afro is holding down bar like an absolute wizard. I believe it's Shin who's holding Aviator. And just like that, Orthros now know with a minute left, they need to approach this in a different manner. Do FAV read into this? They don't need to. They're going to find another kill. Afro with a double.
Yeah, pretty ill-advised there from Choppy when the rest of the team is rotating to try and solid push Solo on HP. Could have been used better elsewhere with those Geminis to actually scout ahead with these remaining players.
What is this?
Either way, number 2 in a wrap position. SMG kill elsewhere leaves it in 2 versus 5. The Vault from V-Bot already knew where that player was. Number 2 taken down. But Astro, that's Lugator, define the trade in response. Now Ace Roller, stranded, position known 30 seconds in a dream.
A dream that's about to come crashing down to earth. But Lugator continues to peek while reloading and gives Ace Roller an opportunity. Time is not on the side of Ace. He's shut down as he comes around the corner. Shin, the final kill of the round. Once again, that is... Although there would be an element of sweet revenge should FAV be able to close out the next 2 rounds. Somewhat of a response after what was an incredible bank from Orthros. But again, we just wait to see what that is going to look like. FAV will be looking to approach this with haste, no doubt about it.
10 seconds left before insertion.
How good is Orthros' Villa on defense?
5 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like Mirror is going to be quite critical in this setup. We saw limited play on the side of FAV of the Mirror, but it looks like there was a key one placed inside of EVG, looking in towards Study to try and push back that attack, but FAV, they're spawning over towards the north. That's going to be a clear map sweep here. It's up to Orthros to quickly adjust themselves, know exactly where this push is coming from, and just try to stall it out for as long as possible. They did invest some utility over towards the triple wall with 2 reinforcements. Ace Roller, though, the only defender on this part of the map, so he needs support, and he needs it on the ASAP. Oh no.
Yeah, that's devastating. Shin, very early on, already in the bathroom. Taipon follows up. This is where FAV are incredibly dangerous. They take things with such haste. Look at the information they have. They are just steamrolling through this side of the map where Orthros had actually put a fair bit of their attention. Now, of course, they are backing away for a very specific purpose. It's not to be to play for the long game. But Ace Roller can't stop the Twitch drone. What's going on?
And this is going to completely dislodge this attack. So in about 30 seconds time, FAV are going to be able to just dump this position and clear it pretty quickly. So FAV are looking fantastic at the moment. Orthros need to step up, try and show face over towards 90, apply some sort of pressure, because red is going to be very, very sketchy to hold on to.
So far, a phenomenal start for FAV on their attack. We've seen them hit every single mark and with haste. They can now look to start to put attention elsewhere. Keep Orthros honest, because that's one of the big parts here. You can't really afford to just sit back and now keep all your attention here. You'll see Shin now moving across towards Study, as we've now got one on the 90 Repel. It is Afro. A minute 10. They have so much time here, guys.
At least Orthros have top brand to lean into, but again, if that push comes fully from the north, it's not going to mean a whole lot. Drones being sent out. There is a player inside of Vault, Ace Roller. I don't know if the Repel's being held anymore though here by FAV. These defenders under so much pressure. Orthros looking to hold on, but it feels like FAV are just constricting their opponents at the moment.
They certainly are, suffocating them to a site where they will shine. Taipon finds the opening, makes it just past the smoke. Now Afro trying to hold on to Study. They are slaughtering Orthros, who cannot find any kind of moment in time. They are getting shut down left, right, and center. This is the FAV that we expected coming into this. This is the FAV that they have shown us in the 3rd map. Villa. Map point, series, map point, FAV.
Really clean round, and it all started off the back of that really swift map sweep. As you mentioned, Rob, just the haste was just incredible. They already had pre-placed drones. They were droning ahead for themselves quite quickly. So AVG taken for free, then the Twitch drone to clear out, or aid in the clear of top red. Probably stalled out a little bit longer than they really needed to, but they just did a good job in doing so safely. Then Volt, they couldn't hold that anymore, which meant they had pretty free passage in towards site. FAV, that is, as ORTHROS were, you know, distracted with the bazillion angles being created around them. And yeah, I think FAV are now well and truly in a great position to just close this out. Plenty of opportunities, plenty of sites that they can attempt now, and a huge buffer to play into.
Here it is.
Locate and defuse bombs.
If you're an ORTHROS fan, I would say to hold your breath, but I think you'll end up passing out because they've got 5 rounds that they need to make up for. So hold on to hope as much as you can, but the way that FAV have proven to us so far that this is their map, that this is their series, they deserve to continue through this bracket. It's undeniable.
10 seconds to insertion.
The final response may ring
5 seconds remaining.
for ORTHROS. They may go down here after what has been a valiant effort from them. A 7-0 bank. They then just drop out of Chalet in OT. It's been a storyline that I'm sure that they'll be happy with in the factor that they have turned up, they have performed, they've really pushed FAV to their limits, but Villa has just been a different beast.
Yeah, that's exactly right. For ORTHROS, an open qualifier team, to perform this well is really, really impressive. They don't really get much to show for it at the end of the day because they're knocked out in the group of 12, but they'll gain a lot of experience and hopefully some motivation moving forward to continue competing here locally. Bit of a shame, I guess, that once they eventually do lose this map and the series, that they won't be in a position to try and qualify for Japan League next year. They'll have to wait. So that, of course, going to be incredibly, incredibly disappointing. But I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes here. And I think ORTHROS can hold their heads pretty high. It's been a good performance from them so far. They really pushed FAV to their limits, particularly, well, obviously on the first map, but the second map on Chalet as well, where they probably really should have closed things out. So no doubt going to be a bit of a sting for them, but let's see what they can do here. Maybe they could put up a fight here. 6-1, the scoreline. ORTHROS on the defense here for Kitchen, and it's a big C4 from Mao to kick things off.
Seedings, I tell you what, that's what you want. ORTHROS now, without really ever seeing anyone, have already been given the opportunity in the round. I mean, this is pretty much one for the books. I wouldn't just pencil, I mean, I'd pencil it in. I wouldn't pen it in just yet. Afro and number 2. If they can start to chip away at this defense, if they can start to find a pick here, there, and everywhere, they might be given an opportunity, but I just feel like that's even now impossible. There you go. That's pretty much, I mean, that's pretty much all she wrote. Afro trying to find something back. Ace Roller will shut it down, a flawless round. And there could be something in this, guys. You never know. There could be something in this.
Maybe. Flawless round. They got tertiary side as well dealt with, so yeah, it's something. But again, they don't have any buffer, right? One more mistake, one more bad round, and it's over. So we'll see what happens. Maybe at this point in time, ORTHROS, the mentality is shifted, right? They're probably like, you know what, we're probably going to lose this, so I hope they don't necessarily have a defeatist attitude, but they may well, you know, not have any pressure on them anymore because they're not expecting to close this out. So they can kind of just play their game, play freely, experiment with sites a little bit, and just, you know, see what you can get done at this point.
And there's still plenty to get done, right? Like, we've seen that ORTHROS can string rounds together. There's no question about that whatsoever. 7 rounds straight they were able to accumulate on Bank. So they've done it before. They've proven to us they can. It's just about whether they can do it here, whether they can dig deep enough to bring it into the fold. I just feel like FAV's persistence is going to be something that ORTHROS are going to struggle to deal with, especially for 4 more rounds. You know, we did speak about the fact that FAV, they are very quick on that attack. Once they've really been able to get the drones together, they've got the intel on really where some of these members are for the defense. They are very swift in taking control. And from there, they're so quick at ticking things off. Check mark after check mark. They go, thank you very much. So, Orthros are going to need to try and deal with that in the best way that they can. We've got a stat trophy now, where, I mean, again, it's just do or die for every round. I don't need to repeat myself there. It'll become a broken record by the end of it, but...
Wait, what were you saying? I didn't quite hear the first 3 times.
I know you didn't really listen. That's okay. I know you guys. Don't forget, I can see your video every single time. I'm looking right at you. Viewers don't have to look at that mug, but I do.
Hello.
No, all I'm saying is it's going to be very hard to deal with FAV's aggression in terms of the early rounds.
Yeah, they already have really quick horizontal control here. Down below inside of Living, pretty uncontested, but expected so. Mao, that actually wasn't him to get that kill. It looked like it was,
but damn.
It was a Zero elsewhere. Don't know how he actually got that kill. Must have been on Vert or something, I guess. Yeah, either way, 5 versus 4. Orthros again with the advantage. So maybe there is something in this.
Maybe. Maybe if FAV aren't careful, they may well be punished. Now, completely backed away here. Looks like he's really going to be playing that lurk position. And same with Ace Roller. I mean, both players here toward the basement side, they've obviously got the rotate right up red that will kind of get them back to site safely. But this could be dangerous for FAV. If they're not careful in their clears, if they're not methodical like we've seen them to be, this could be a bit of a different story.
Oh, FAV very much focusing their efforts down below, looking to maybe clear utility on the main wall, but I mean, what's the point? You only have Maverick, so I don't really understand the reasoning behind that, but I guess maybe trying to find kills with grenades down below, that would obviously make a lot more logical sense. Nothing quite found though. Still a 5 versus 4 in favor of the defense. Now 60 seconds left on the board, and FAV, it's looking a bit like Bank at the moment. They need to actually commit to something. Now, nades again on Villa so powerful. Can Lugator find something? He does elsewhere as well. Type finds a kill as he pushes through bathroom. Trades come through. Now a 2v3. Orthros on the back foot.
Oh, wow, Chappie. What a shot. Fading away. Typon tries to aggress. Ace Roller on the flank. Chappie cannot afford to die here, but Ace misses his chance. They now go to aggress into trophy. Chappie holds. He finds himself a triple in the round. Orthros, there's a smile. There's a glimmer in their eyes, Guz, that makes me think this is not the last time.
Yeah, a bit of belief can be felt from the faces of Orthros. A well-balanced round. FAV... I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that attacking pattern. If you're going to commit down below, you need to be bringing a lot of nades. You need to be bringing at least 4 nades and actually committing to droning out players on site and trying to clear them. Now, we did see the nades have a limited impact, but probably not as much as they should have. And then Astro could have worked out, but of course didn't in the end. Orthros able to hold on. They looked quite strong. They traded out picks, some good aggression, particularly from Trophy, able to shut down that push. So maybe there is something in this. I don't know. I'm not convinced just yet. I think if Orthros win this round, if they actually do a full 3-site rotation, then I'm going to start seriously, getting excited. But keep in mind, Aviator Games, this is the first site that Orthros did attempt, and they got mauled on this particular objective. So it's going to be really tough.
Yeah. Yes. It was not the prettiest of holds. And once again, FAV's ability to just get in your face and force you back to site, it is something that I think is going to be incredibly hard to hold and hard to deal with, unless Orthros can find that opening pick every single round and kind of ease that pressure that FAV put on. I just don't know. I'm just not convinced. With 3 rounds left, FAV have still 2 mistakes that they can make before things become absolutely dire. But it could well be the way this story goes. Orthros Grit are not done with the championship, nor are they done with their opportunity to fight for the relegations of Japan League.
Type on the Montang. I've been waiting to finally see it unleashed, and it feels like FAV have finally gotten to the point where, like, yeah, we might need that Monty, lean into it. And that may be because they're not committing from that sweep. Instead, over towards Study, but that has been faulted. Mao with a swing, 2-drop Shin. That's a very good start for ORTHROS.
You've got to be so happy if you're ORTHROS. Multiple times now they've been able to find the opening. I think that's 3 rounds straight they've been able to do so, and unresponded as well. That's the other part. Some of the times we talk about, you know, finding the opening pick, but it's responded on, it's traded very quickly. FAV have not been able to do it. Even more often than not, ORTHROS have looked for 2 kills instead of just the 1. Now, they look to start to take study control, but they've got to be careful. They overextend. That nade might be perfect. Look at that. Chappie's been able to find one. Oh my word. This is not looking good at all for FAV, but they are starting to fight back. A 2v3 now ensues.
Yeah, 90 seconds to work with, so time not too much of an issue at the moment. Lugator has a nade and Afro has 2 smokes that could play a critical role in cutting off some of these crosses late round. Lugator finds another. For ORTHROS to lose it in this fashion would be absolutely devastating. They look so strong. They had a great start here in round number 10, but it's falling apart. Oh, that nade did so much damage.
Jeez. People are lucky to be alive. It was a 2 versus 5, guys. Afro, Lugator. They have been rock solid here. And could close it out. Afro going to get that early intel, and I think that's actually forced Ace Roller back onto the site. Lugator now taking control of Classical. Very disjointed at the moment. Both players on completely other sides of the map.
Afro does have a drone. I wouldn't mind seeing him maybe try and get some sort of information on site so they're not going in completely blind. Lugator over towards Vault, creates a line of sight. Now I'm playing that position as Ace Roller flanks from behind. Now Afro in the 1v2.
Afro can't find V. He's down on the ground, proned. That momentum, even easier to maintain when you're on land, even easier when you're next to your teammate. I'm sure that that has been somewhat of a helping factor here for ORTHROS. You feel the energy of the players around you.
Attackers need to locate
And it is something that if you build upon correctly, boy oh boy, does it get exciting. Seen it many times before. Haven't you guys? Yeah,
What have
I
I seen many times before?
the environment of land and how it affects.
Look, I am the land expert. I know all about the lands. I've been to all the lands. Lands are very good.
Laying out the welcome mat.
It's the only thing I've got against you, mate. I've got nothing else. There's nothing else going for me. If you get a land in the next 6 months, I'm done. All my content is done. I have nothing left.
They have to find something else to make fun of me of. Don't worry, there's plenty of content if you go digging.
It may well be. It may well be. But, speaking of digging, ORTHROS are going to have to dig deep here, Guz. There is...
I knew you were going to use that segue. If you didn't, I was. So.
Someone had to. Someone had to. You can't be a commentator without using a cheesy segue like that. But honestly, 2 rounds now is all that stands between us and a storyline that all but seemed diminished. Can they do it?
Choppy up above. Aggressive on the vigil, cutting down these drones. Only 7 now available for FAV, looking to get up above. They have a Thatcher to play off, hard breach as well. The play might be to try and drop into laundry, open lines of sight over towards dining. Nice roll as well on the roam. As FAV look to drone ahead, or at least use a Gemini to scout ahead. But once again, Choppy in position to shut that down. Summer's actually being used on triple wall here, making Trophy a little bit more precarious to hold, but FAV are struggling to get inroads. They are struggling to find this opener.
This roller got to be so careful there. FAV. Oh, that's what we're after. C4 lands to perfection from Vvort. And here's the thing, this is the exact same way that started out for ORTHROS in the last 4 rounds. My God, Ace finds the incredible timing on the flank. I don't think he's going to be able to find it. Oh my God, has he been given an opportunity? It doesn't make a difference. Chappie in the meantime has been able to take Afro. Does I am a believer.
Ace Roller as well. With the Kona station in pocket, can heal himself back up. Cheeky little use there of the Thunderbird utility, able to swing wide, but doesn't win that fight onto Luke Gator. Now it's important that ORTHROS just stabilize. Don't throw anything else away for free. Position yourself inside to shut down the entry points. Only 50 seconds left. The round should be ORTHROS's if they play it smart.
Attackers have located a bomb.
It's just what we're really questioning at the moment. FAV. I mean, realistically, 2 versus 4, all you're doing is poking and prodding, seeing if something turns up, but ORTHROS GRIT are playing this to perfection. They're just going to be sitting back and waiting for FAV to crawl to their own death. Typon would have to go nuclear, starts off in the right fashion. It's VVort, a nice little angle to close things out.
At the moment, I think. But FAV, okay, they're bringing out the Glaz, so maybe that can do a little bit of damage.
What I'm going to lean into is the only storyline that I've got right now. my simple play-by-play mind, which is that every single time ORTHROS have found that opening kill, they've found the round. And every single time that they found the opening kill, FAV have not been able to respond. And I do think that if that trend continues here, FAV are going to find themselves in a position they do not want. What have ORTHROS GRIT got for this final round? They've fought tooth and nail to get us back to this point. 5 rounds straight is what was required. 4 rounds is what they've given us. Final piece of the puzzle yet to be laid.
FAV, the entry, it's going to be really important for them. They have been struggling in the early phases of these attacks, again, to get map control, but also to find kills, and that's proving to be costly, often being flanked late round, often unable to win key mini-games. Summer's being used to try and persuade those defenders down below to rotate, and that will achieve its goal. FAV last time on this AVG attack played heavily down below, leading into the nades that they had available, trying to lurk, find kills. Looks like Afro is looking to employ a similar tactic at the moment. Mao could be on the radar here. Ace Roller flanking down below as well. It's a very scary round for both teams at the moment.
And it is. Typon just has a little bit of damage thrown his way, but that's all it is. A minute 40. Things don't look all the greatest here for FAV. Haven't really been able to see what they've been able to achieve. My God, imagine that from Ace Roller. Could you imagine that's the way we open this round? However, one thing that is for sure is ORTHROS have all but been thrown back to site, and there it is, guys. There it is. I'm starting to pencil this in. VVort finds the kill. Where from?
This isn't going to work from FAV. They are playing below. They've had 2 nades, and the one player with nades is now being killed. They need to be committing to a map sweep, but now they don't really have the time to do so. That means they're probably going to be left with bedroom, but again, with that mirror setup, that's going to be tough. So ORTHROS are miles ahead in this round at the moment. Absolutely miles ahead. They just need to hold on. Don't get tricked by maybe the Glaz or some other cheese strat here from FAV, and the round should be theirs. OT, well and truly looming at the moment.
Activating drone.
You can see how quick FAV are trying to get something together, but this is the beautiful thing that ORTHROS have been able to do each and every round. They find a pick and they turtle. There's no need for them to continue to peek. They just find the perfect positions time and time again. They'll stay aggressive for as long as they need, and then they back away again. You're just seeing Choppy. That's the exact example. He has 90 control, he backs away. 30 seconds, guys.
There's just no time for FAV. Like, at the end of the day, 25 seconds left. They're going to try and filter in towards heads and tails. From there, they're just going to get mowed down. Time continues to tick down. Nothing has been found. No late trade. ORTHROS, again, they're going to win this round, surely.
Well, there goes the first player. Down to only 3. FAV, 10 seconds left. Where's the kit? Is it in a position where it can even go down? Choppy's been able to find one. Number 2 has to go massive. Can't do so. Shin, the last player left. There's nothing in it. 5 rounds straight for ORTHROS.
ORTHROS have done what we thought may have been impossible. They have pushed OT 5 rounds consecutively on the defense. Incredible. For FAV, they have fallen apart. Their AVG attacks to be blunt, have been really bad. Like, really, really bad. They're playing down below horizontally, yet they're only bringing 2 nades. And immediately once their one player with nades is taken down, they're not rotating fast enough to come up with a contingency plan. And ORTHROS, as you mentioned, Rob, they're just falling back as required. They're playing passive. They're not doing anything silly. Not giving away anything for free. And that's exactly what they needed to do. Heading into OT, I don't know what the starting sides are going to be, but I hope for FAV it's not attack.
Attackers
Hey, guys.
locate and defuse bombs.
Hello.
What have you got on your hands there?
Sweat.
Ah!
And a series.
No, you ruined it. You ruined me. It is going to be FAV starting out on the defense, so that surely gives them the leg up that they need in this series. This has to be it for FAV. They get 2 opportunities on their defense. The defense that have shown us 2 5-1 halves, by the way. They cannot afford to let this opportunity pass them by, because you know that ORTHROS, in the current state that they're in, the vibe that they would have in this roster, you let the ball slip for a second and they will take it and run away.
Fortunately for FAV, they are starting on the defense. This has been an incredibly defender-sided map so far. Only 2 attacks won out of the first 12 rounds, so that gives you a pretty clear picture as to just how defender-sided it really has been. So FAV can probably find some comfort in there, but the question is, has their mental been chalked, right? They've just lost 5 rounds straight, and in a pretty convincing fashion as well. They look quite lost on their attacks. They'll need to quickly change up that momentum on the defense. Shin.
The attacker's bomb diffuser
Is that a
has
living?
been dropped.
I thought maybe he'd be on for some sort of play down below, but he is getting lit up. Force now for a long rotation through kitchen.
Shin would have to be easily the most frustrating player I have ever seen. And oh my god, each and every round for the last 6 straight, ORTHROS have found themselves an opening, 3 of which have been with utility. This right now is getting dangerously close.
Yeah, more nades available here for ORTHROS. Oh, Blue Gator lucky to survive there on the elevation. Still 40 HP in the bank, can try and play this position, hold on with those gas babes. 1 more available. FAV, they're under the pump at the moment. It's critical that they hold down these mini games. Number 2 and Blue Gator are the linchpins here for FAV.
Bomb
Well done
located
from
by
Choppy.
attackers.
Lugator. Oh no! No, Lugator! The smoke canister doesn't land! Choppy can't find the kill. Number 2, how long can he hold for? Not much longer now. He finds the quick trade. Shin and Afro are now left to hold on for dear life. If they lose this defense round, guys, we surely are putting a pin in it. This is unbelievable from ORTHROS.
On the verge of 6 rounds straight. Shin's in a good position over towards Volt and Afro behind the bar, so I don't think FAV could be in any better positions currently. But again, man disadvantage, and ORTHROS can show that initiation. Unfortunately, Diffuser is over towards Study, so they can't really go for a Volt or Plant, and that allows Shin to maybe be in a big power play position.
Oh,
That said, both players are going to rotate elsewhere. Not sure if they were scared by drones or what the play exactly is here for FAV, but it's quite risky.
oh, ace roller. This should surely be the free kill. Oh no, now things get a little bit dire. Defuse being stuck here. Afro and Shin both coming in from landing as Siru gets off for a hot second. They're going to try to contest. Shin finds another. Mao, with no HP, is going to walk straight into his own demise. FAV Gaming can thank the heavens above that Afro and Shin played that to perfection.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned is probably one way to frame it for FAV. In that 2v3, they went for a very risky play, rotating over towards 90, but hey, they made it work, and I think ORTHROS were probably caught off guard a little bit, maybe not having the information there, and they chased those kills, didn't work out. When in reality, they really probably should have tried to go for a bar plant, where it would have been very difficult for the defense to deny. So unfortunate there for ORTHROS. They kind of fumble a little bit. They trip over that final hurdle in that round. Had they have achieved that, they would have been in an absolutely incredible position to close out this series, but just not meant to be.
Do ORTHROS crumble under the pressure of OT once more? We saw this on Chalet They fought tooth and nail to get into a position where OT was the storyline. It was FAV that went up in the first round, and it was FAV that closed things out shortly after in a 2 versus 2. ORTHROS, with this in mind, we head to Kitchen. There is no pulse, which is almost a stock standard on this site. Instead, we're seeing the Thunderbird, we're seeing the Frost, the Capcan.
We're ready for company.
With a lot of attention that we saw on that upper site, or really that vertical plate from ORTHROS. Will they repeat that kind of firm stance? And will FAV play into it?
Pretty interesting choice of site over towards kitchen dining, but it was the first objective that ORTHROS were able to win in regulation after a failed AVG defense. And over the course of regulation, they did win it on 2 occasions. FAV looking to go for a map sweep, drones established and players set up towards the south. That means they'll probably encounter the likes of Ace Roller on red stairs. I don't think it's too much of an expensive extension here necessarily here from ORTHROS GRIT, so I mean that could go one or 2 ways. Give them more safety, but also may allow FAV the freedom to, you know, really activate players like Shin on the vert. Drones still being sent out here, so very safe for both teams so far.
Again, I do find it interesting. I don't think there's been many times I've ever seen Kitchen without the pulse. The information you can gain from that is absolutely outrageous. Chappie, Ace Roller, thinking about this flank. Number 2 with the drone in position. It's all good to have the drones in positions, but you need to ensure that someone is on that flank watch. Someone must always be watching. At the moment, you can see 4 players from FAV run their drones just then. They are well and truly ensuring that they are taking the right steps here. Number 2 is the player watching for that flank. Ace Roller hasn't moved yet. Lugator has taken landing. Controls slowly but surely. He's being suffocated for FAV, in a position where ORTHROS are going to be forced into a bit of a dogfight on site.
First nitro cell there from Mao doesn't quite hit the mark. I think VVOD has pre-placed his second. 4 in total here for the defense. Number 2, aware of the flank, gets that kill. Free as you would like. Ace Roller taken down. FAV edging closer and closer to winning this round, winning the map, and the series all in one big hit. Choppy has repositioned though on red. Maybe he can be the player to turn it around.
Oh no! Oh no! This is falling apart. ORTHROS, they were in such a fantastic position.
Hello.
How does number 2 find that? A triple kill. Things go from bad to worse for ORTHROS, and it looks like it's all but done and dusted. Can it be at the hands of number 2? VVOD left in pantry. Nothing left but a hope and a dream, and he's shut down on the trade. FAV Gaming closed things out in the best of 3, guys.
Oh, it looked scary for FAV. They